up, Chipper Chaps? This is Chipper Chap Chat. So, did you find out what episode this was?
106.
Okay, cool. Confirmed. Episode 106, coming back from the holiday break. Oh,
Yeah.
snap.
New Year's and
And
all that.
coming back with a time lapse art video. What?
Oh, yeah. For the people that asked for it, you're not going to see our faces here, but you will see some drawings happen.
Oh, snap.
Hmm
I say we should, make this a semi-regular thing again. Some sort of artwork
It's
going
it's
on.
a little more difficult, but I think
It is a
we
little more
probably
difficult.
should.
Yeah, I think it's going to be harder for me to be recording streams once I start working in. But
Yeah. Oh, actually, dude,
still,
they are going to see your face in this one because on your portion of the stream, you're going to have your face in the corner doing things really fast.
true. So you will see, you will see my
Yeah,
bobblehead
yeah. But
shake
you won't
around and
see
blinking and
mine, and
stuff.
that's great. It's got a picture of me, a drawing instead.
Why don't you have cam when you're on your stream?
I do sometimes, but I have it so that I can turn it off also, and I can just have a drawing. I like that option.
I have that option.
Yeah, well, I decided to. I happened to have it on when I was recording that piece.
What a lame. Anyway, let's get into the stuff for this episode. We're
Yes,
talking about kind of like a wrap up of last year.
2017. We're quite garbage with this list though because somebody named Royce didn't realize that we were doing just five.
5 apiece to make
Five
10.
apiece to make 10. He did 10 apiece
I
or
did
tried.
10 myself.
That's all
I
good.
took the 10. I actually got 15.
That's all good. You know what? Because that's fine. No, it's fine because technically we wrote more good things than bad, and that's a thing because we're supposed to be chipper. That's a
Exactly.
positive. I think that's a positive.
Exactly. And you know what? You're probably going to agree with some of these things on my list. So we're kind of going to have a shared experience.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
This list is not in any, at least for me, is not in any particular order.
No
These are
order at
just
all.
things that were cool about last year
Mm-hmm.
because so much of last. You know what? Maybe let's talk about how we're gonna do the negative portion because I don't want to spend a lot of time on the negative portion.
You want to do that first?
Because 2017 was so garbage, you know,
Yes.
in a lot of ways.
How about we get through? How about we get through the negative first?
Sure, because we all only have a
And to
few
be
of those.
fair,
Let's not
right?
even get into detail. Just
Oh no, not at all.
bust them out.
And technically, all right. First off, before even saying anything negative, like about the negatives, they're not even negatives. They're more so just like things I guess, disappointed in.
I've got a couple of those and a couple actual negatives, but I won't spend any real time
All
on
right,
the actual
cool.
negatives.
Should begin me or you? Don't matter really.
It doesn't matter. You go ahead.
All right. The first thing I wrote here, negative, the Figma Saitama.
Yeah, you have mentioned it quite a bit. You're disappointed
Yeah,
with that
I
one.
was just like, I, I love the
So
character.
for those of you that are not aware, Figma is a brand of
It's a brand.
Japanese
It's an action figure. It's done by Good Smile Company. It's a Japanese import brand, basically. Because Royce and I collect action figures. It's
Right.
just a thing that we enjoy doing. And that was a character that I particularly like. A character from the anime One Punch Man. Now, I was anticipating this figure because I like the character. And I have a few Figmas already. And they're all quite good. So
Not this one so much.
this one was just not even in the same level as those
yeah.
at all. Like, it's not good at all. I only have it because I like the character.
Right.
So, like, hearing my voice now, you can tell that it's definitely a negative.
Yeah. If I would have thought about it, I would have put Ray on here too. I got the Ray from Force Awake or from Last Jedi, training Ray, and I just really don't really like the figure at all. She
Yeah.
can't do a lot of the poses that you imagine from like a Star Wars character. She can't even hold the saber two-handed. She doesn't have like a force push hand or any of that kind of thing.
Missed opportunities.
So, yeah, it's just not. It was pretty disappointing.
Yeah.
When in a year where I only got a couple figures, but out of I think I probably got 5 this year. Out of the 5 I got, she was the weakest one easily.
Dude, 5 is like, that's not a lot at all.
it might be more than that, but I feel
Yeah.
like I could only think of five off
Right,
the
right.
top
No,
of my
I know
head.
what you mean. I know what you mean. Like,
Yeah,
I look around and I'm like, yeah, there's a bunch, but I listen to a bunch of podcasts and they're naming stuff weekly, and I'm like, no.
because I got the
You
two Homecoming
you got
Spider-Mans.
Deadpool.
I got
You
Deadpool,
got
Spider-Gwen,
Gwenpool.
and Ray.
Yes.
Not
Uh.
Gwenpool,
Oh yeah, that's
Spider-Gwen.
right. My bad. You got the Legends Venom.
I did get a Legends Venom.
Yeah, you
I
got that.
just mean of the import
All right,
figures
right, right. Yeah,
primarily,
yeah.
but I guess I did get a Legends Venom, and I got a 2099 Spider-Man for
Right.
Christmas.
That was great.
Yeah. But anyway, the Ray one,
You,
out of all of those, including the Legends, was the
yeah.
weakest one.
So I guess that's
And
part of your negative list then.
I guess so. Yeah, throw that on there. Why not?
What was your official
Uh,
first negative list though?
as far as the things similarly that were kind of disappointing, but not necessarily like I hated it.
Mm.
Uh, Ghost in the Shell on my list.
Ooh, I didn't put
Uh,
that one on at all.
it was a movie where it didn't like really bother me, the movie, but it just wasn't anywhere close to as good as the trailer kind of made it seem like it might have
Yeah,
been.
yeah.
And I feel like there was so much negative buzz around the movie before it even came out
Mm-hmm.
that it was really hard not to pay attention to the stuff that they tried to fix that problem with
Right,
in the
right.
story, as far
Yep.
as like her racial appearance.
Mm-hmm.
uh it just, it was such a letdown because it's like probably my favorite anime
Yeah.
franchise, and then turned into live action, and then in a way that was so disappointing compared to even like Blade Runner,
Right.
which
Which I watched
which I
recently.
quite enjoyed,
Yeah.
and that movie doesn't have nearly the kind of like
You've got no connection to
action
it.
potential that Ghost in the Shell
But you
has.
don't even have connection to that film.
Yeah, because I don't have any particular connection to
Mm-hmm.
the original Blade Runner, but I quite enjoyed
Mm-hmm.
uh, the new one, which didn't make it on my list. But maybe an honorable mention that would have been on my
Oh,
list.
I limited my list, so
Yeah,
yeah. All right. Next negative thing, which we're actually doing a lot more of, it seems. We should probably do faster, I
the
suppose.
disappointing ones are not so bad. I just don't want to
Yeah.
spend any time on the actual negatives.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's fair. Transformers: The Last Night.
Yeah, Transformers
I
last
love
night. I didn't
Transformers
see it.
as a
I didn't see
franchise.
that one, dude.
Not the films. The films are
Yeah,
fine, but I love the property of Transformers.
right.
So I'm always like, I know the films haven't exactly been the best example for us, but I'm
As
always
far as what
having,
they could be.
yeah, I'm always having this hope inside, like maybe this next one.
Yeah,
And honestly,
I
I'm
f-
still saying that for this upcoming Bumblebee one.
I feel like if they would have kept making them, that would have been Ninja Turtles for me. Like, please, hopefully the next one will be good.
Oh yeah, Ninja Turtles. That's a thing in itself.
'Cause those reboots, man,
Mm.
so many decisions, the wrong
So yeah,
ones. But
Transformers: The Last Night. They had moments, but overall, it's just why? Why is it so hard for you guys?
yeah. Next one for me, Tomb Raider trailer
Oh snap! You didn't
for
like
the
it.
reboot. No,
Oh wow. Okay.
the trailer. It was, I guess, just a teaser that they put out, but the trailer just didn't work for me, and they extra ruined it at the end by doing the like, maybe this is still the Angelina Jolie Tomb Raider thing at the end where they
Mm,
had her with the ponytail and the guns from those movies. I'm like, just let it be separate. Why are you trying to build off of that franchise? Just make a new thing.
that's
But
yeah.
I don't
Nah.
know.
It's that last part of that trailer that made me go, why?
Yeah, and I'm still, at this point at least, still not sold on Alicia Vikander as Tomb Raider. Like, I liked her in Ex Machina. I thought she was great, but when I see her as this character, it just seems like miscasting to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, as much as people have solidified her in their mind as one character, I would have much rather preferred Daisy Ridley as this character, as this version of the Tomb Raider. I
Yeah.
think she's a lot more similar to how I imagined her from these reboot games than Alicia Vikander is.
Who do you
But
think they would have cast? Who do you think they should have cast in?
Daisy Ridley,
Yeah, I guess.
I think that I think she would have been great. And there was lots of rumors that it was gonna be her originally. She was like
Is it?
campaigning
Do
for
you
it.
reckon
Boyega
you reckon
said
she's
she should
too
be.
stuck on the Star Wars thing?
I think she maybe as far as the producers are concerned. I'm not sure why that didn't happen. Because she seemed like she was into it doing the movie. I don't know why
Mm,
she. Um, yeah, just I guess because the Oscar buzz and stuff around Alicia Vikander happened right before that, so they're
right.
like, go
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah. That makes
Um,
sense. Kind of sucks, but that's what we're getting.
yeah,
Yeah. Are you gonna watch the film though when it comes out?
maybe I gotta see some more trailers
I don't know though.
because
Like based on the trailer that
every
you've already seen, it's not like this new one's gonna make you go, "Oh yeah."
right. And again, even with the Jolie ones, which were not as bad as they could have been, uh, I'm not that attached to them. So it's not a thing where I'm like, oh, these are connected to those old Angelina Jolie things. Now I have to see it. I don't have that mentality about it. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. What's next
Okay.
thing on your list?
Oh, I've only got one more thing on my list.
Right.
There's a bunch of anime that came out last year, and one that I read about and I saw some pictures of, and I was like, okay, this could be interesting. It was called Handshakers. Yeah,
Handshakers. No.
yeah. I don't really
Heard of
remember the premise anymore because once I tried to watch the first episode.
it. Yeah.
I was just like, no.
Right. Okay.
Just visually, it's a
It just wasn't
mess.
good looking anime.
It's a mess. Because, alright, check it. The characters are like hand drawn, cel shaded characters. The
Okay.
background is all CG, but done in a way that is just awful.
Like
I
it looks like old video games or
No, no,
something.
no, no. That's too easy if it were the case. It's almost like the characters don't fit in the backgrounds because they try to use CG in a sense where they can do some really cool angles and stuff, dynamic angles, but the
Uh,
characters are not dynamic.
hmm.
And it's almost like the camera doesn't follow the characters well, and it just hurt my head. I
I'll have
had
to see it because now I'm
oh
really curious what
yeah,
that looks
yeah.
like.
And I was just like, this could have been great. No. Like, I read the premise, I thought, okay, this could be interesting, because I like to give every kind of anime a shot.
Right.
Just, I'll give the first episode a shot. If I see a little bit of promise, I'll give it 3 episodes, and if it doesn't hold my if it doesn't hold my interest, I'm out. This one, it was a struggle. I didn't finish the first episode because I'm like, no. No, this is not how it should be. It shouldn't be like this.
You watch hella stuff,
I
so
do,
good.
yeah.
Have
And
fun.
I watch lots of stuff that people would say, that's garbage. And I'm like, yeah, it's funny. That's funny, though. Because it's got to have something in it.
Right.
Like, it can't just. Because when I watch things in general, anime, shows, something, it doesn't matter how it's going to look or whether the writing is even bad. If there's something in it that can entertain me, then that's fine. This one, I just couldn't even get past anything. I couldn't get
Yeah.
it. So I was like, no, I'm done. So that's definitely on my that's the last of my negatives. All I can come up with is 3. There's a lot of things last year that came out that I was like, but not to the point where I'm like, no, no.
Well, we'll lump these last two negatives I have
Cool.
into one,
All right.
and no need to really go into it. We'll just acknowledge that they were garbage.
All right.
Politics for 2017 was pretty
Yes.
garbage,
Yep.
and pretty much everything related to the words sexual harassment was pretty garbage last year as well.
I agree.
And I imagine that
It's gonna
we can
continue.
all agree
Yeah.
that that stuff is terrible.
Yep.
Um, Now
Cool.
on to the fun stuff.
Now on to the chipper things.
Yeah. I guess I'll rattle off these honorable mentions, and
Sure,
you can comment on them how you'd like.
we'll do.
Uh, Star Wars is on my honorable mention.
Yeah, great, man. It's a good time. If you're a Star Wars fan, this is the time.
Right. I couldn't put it on my official list of things that I loved because I just kind of I enjoyed
Yes.
the time, but I had a lot of things that I think it could have been easily improved upon that they
Hmm.
just decided, let's not. So I guess they did. Next on my honorable mentions list, the Runaways TV show. Um,
Again, if you're a fan of this is awesome.
I love that it exists,
Yes.
but they're fucking it up in my opinion because
All
they're spending
right.
too
Yeah.
much time on the parents, and
Mm.
so that makes me not put it on my official list. And then last on my honorable mentions is Skull Candy Crusher headphones because I didn't technically only discover them last year, but I
Yeah.
did get a new set of them last year, and they are the best sound headphones to me. They're my
Unfortunately,
favorite
though,
thing.
they're actually crushing your skull.
They are. These ones are taking the Crusher name a
Yeah.
little too literally. I try to get the like high end wireless version,
Uh huh.
and these they have a metal band on it. Nobody can see what I'm talking about, but
No.
these ones have a metal band, and I got a big head, so
Yeah.
apparently those two things don't go together
Uh
well.
huh.
But I'm
I've
I've
got the
taken
wide version that I was gifted from Royce because
right,
he got a pair and I love them. I need to
yeah,
get a new earpiece though because they start crumbling a little bit.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I still use my wired
Oh,
set when I
I use
game
them.
all the
Hmm.
time, and so I love them. If you've got a tinier head than watermelon, you should be okay.
Hmm. We got big heads.
so
Yeah.
so yeah, that was the last on my honorable mentions
Good
list. What do
honorable
you got?
mentions they deserve. What's up
What's
now?
first on yours?
Oh, first on my list was New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Noich.
Last year was I
That was
was
one of the
fully
best
introduced
years
into it
I've ever
last
seen.
year, and I'm fully in. I'm
I definitely
subscribed.
think thus far 2017 was definitely the year of New Japan as far as their kind of
Uh
popularity
huh.
skyrocketing.
They and now it's like they're just continuing. They're moving
Yep.
forward, and it's awesome because if you enjoy like wrestling, which we do, yes, we
Yeah.
understand it's fake. Good job. Thank you for the everyone who's gonna tell us.
Right.
We know we're not.
Tell that to the homie that gave himself brain damage headbutting the shit out
Yes,
of
please
somebody.
tell him. You should have told him before, clearly. Anyway, New Japan, love it. Wrestle Kingdom 11, which was last year. Wrestle
Yeah.
Kingdom 12 just happened, actually, like last weekend, and it was excellent. But last year was awesome. So, New Japan, killed it. Good job, guys. I love it.
Favorite New Japan wrestler?
Uh,
Go.
Honestly, the guy that smashed his head in,
He was your favorite?
Shibata was awesome. He was my favorite.
Oh, that's lame.
That's why I'm like, this sucks. Because he's so freaking cool.
Well, with him gone, who's runner up?
It's tough, man. There's a lot of them.
Tiger Mask, easy.
Well, Tiger Mask isn't.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite
Well, all right, then
New
technically
Japan
Kota
wrestler.
Ibushi then.
Kota Ibushi's dope.
Kota Ibushi is
Even if
dope.
you not looked at any New Japan, maybe go check out Cruiserweight Classic because he's amazing there
He's
and
the
get
best guy
just a
there.
small taste
Yep.
of how good he is.
He's a beast. He's a beast. Anyway,
I wish he would have fought in that tournament as Tiger Mask. That would have been
dude,
so
it
dope.
would have been. You know what? We need like. All right, we've got some lucha characters in 205 Live.
But I don't,
They're no
right, I
Tiger
don't really
Mask.
care for any of them.
Yeah, they're no
No,
Tiger
not that
Mask.
much.
If some dude
No.
just came out like Tiger Mask and like was just that character,
Right.
if a character came out and he was just a character, I'd be like, yep,
Right.
he's my
Closest
favorite.
thing they got is like Lindsay Dorado or
Yeah,
whatever.
they're fine, but they're not as charismatic.
I agree. I agree.
Anyway, you're first up, bro.
First on my list
Mm.
was Twitch.
I like how
Uh,
random this is right now. It's great.
yeah, I just last year was the first year I really got into using it.
Yeah, dude, you were like
And
you were a Twitch fiend.
yes, I should say Twitch Creative specifically because
Hmm.
I don't use it at almost at all for gaming. I've only been on there a couple times for gaming, but I do use Twitch Creative. I was using it quite a bit before I got real busy, but I will go back to it as soon as possible for sure because I love the community. Uh, it's the closest thing to what Blog TV used to be
I
for
miss
me.
Blog TV so much, though.
Yeah, Blog TV is still reigning champion because they just had some stuff that you still can't
Yeah, I
do.
don't get it. How could they have done it then? And now everyone else is like, oh, sorry, we can't do that. It's like, but they did
Yeah,
it years ago.
yep, and like really well.
Easily, too. It's like, oh, you want a co-stream? Click.
Yep, yep, it was too good, man,
Ugh.
too good.
I know
Don't know
now
what you got till
Picardo
it's
has
gone.
co-stream, though. Picardo has it, but you gotta be like a paid subscriber. I'm
Yeah,
like, I ain't a
that
paid
definitely.
subscriber.
The paywall thing is weak sauce,
Yeah.
and it's actually still more complicated on there. You have to like
Yep.
go to another screen to
Mm-hmm.
accept it or
Yep.
something, and then
Yep. Nothing
yeah,
is as,
it's
basic.
bullshit.
Ugh.
Anyway, next on yours.
Next on my list is a toy. Because I went with different things, you know? Um,
Right.
I was gonna pick originally. You know what? Since you got honorable mentions,
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna do one honorable mention for the toy,
Do
and
it.
then one the
Do
main
it.
one. Honorable mention for the toy is the SH Figure Arts Ryu. SH Figure Art is it's made by Bandai, which is an international a Japanese company.
Mm-hmm.
SH Figure Art is a line of action figures that are roughly 1/12 scale. They recently came out with a Street Fighter line, Street Fighter 5 specifically, and their Ryu action figure is bloody
He looks
awesome.
pretty good, man.
He's
He's
bloody
basically
awesome.
like he's almost like if you 3D printed the Smash Brothers version
Mm-hmm.
of Ryu.
Yeah, exactly. He is that or the Tatsunoko versus Capcom Ryu.
Right, it's very
Very
similar.
similar.
Like
It's not like he's not. I know people were complaining. They were saying, "Oh, he doesn't look like he does in Street Fighter 5," and I'm like, "Good.
right.
He looks
I'm not a
better
big
because
fan of
he's a
the
more
old school.
generic version." And to me,
Yeah,
that makes more sense because Ryu does look different in every game that he appears in.
right.
So seeing him this version, it's like, yeah, you know who it is as soon as you pick it up. It's fine.
For
So that's an
sure.
honorable mention. But the actual favorite toy of last year I picked up was a Transformer, a third party Transformer. Fans Toys Phoenix, which is their version of Jetfire.
Jetfire.
Jetfire is I guess, is a plane. He's freaking huge and it's awesome. And as a kid, I always wanted it, but I could never find it or afford it, be able to afford it. And now I got it, and it's brilliant.
But he's not the Silver Jet.
No, 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 no.
Silver Jet is Starscream.
That's the silver and red. That's a bad guy.
Right.
Yeah, this
But
one's
he was
awesome.
also a jet.
He's also a jet. This one's a large jet. This one it's like a space jet.
Like oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like a space jet.
Yep.
Like a almost like a shuttle kind of situation.
No, well, I guess, but I guess it's more like a futuristic space design rather than like based on an actual
Okay.
shuttle. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Anyway, he's awesome.
Hmm. Right on.
That's
I don't
all.
remember the Transformers well
Yeah.
enough,
Next
but
on
I
your
know
list.
you're excited.
Yeah, I love it.
So
I love it. It's
that's
brilliant.
legit.
It's brilliant.
And that's not even the most recent ones you got. Didn't
That
you
is
have
the
that?
most recent Transformer I got.
Oh, I thought you got some this year.
No, no, that was last. The all the Transformers I
That
got
was still
were
last
yeah,
year.
that was last year.
Man, I feel like that was just yesterday.
Because technically, I mean, we're still in the
That's
start
true.
of
It's a week ago.
January. Yeah, yeah.
Next on my list, Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Yeah, dude, you finally got a freaking Spider-Man film in the Marvel universe,
On my birthday, which
right?
was great, which you got to fly in for, so we got to go see that
Yes, I was
at the same
finally
time.
present on your
Yeah,
birthday because you kept
and it
bitching every
was
other time, like, oh,
it was based on the Ultimate Spider-Man, so that was dope because that's my favorite Spider-Man run,
and it was great.
and it was great. It
Mm-hmm.
was like almost all the things that we requested it be
Mm-hmm.
in our previous episode of the
Right,
show.
that's good. That means like somebody listens. The universe
Right.
listens.
Almost everything they
Yep.
touched on, which I appreciated. So it was just best case scenario really.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I really quite enjoyed it. Only had a few minor gripes with the whole thing, and most of it was like stuff
Minor.
that I feel like they changed after the fact, like
Yep.
the MJ thing and
Mm-hmm.
Gwen Stacy thing. but pretty much everything else was great. Michael Keaton was great.
He's fantastic.
I think he's probably my favorite MCU villain right now, other than maybe Red Skull.
You
And,
know,
and like
I want more Red Skull, man. I hope he comes back eventually.
I do too, but I've said it so many times that I want that to happen that I wanted to stop saying it
Yeah,
because
I
I feel
do
like
too. Because it's not, and I'm just gonna. We're setting ourselves up for disappointment.
exactly. But Spider-Man: Homecoming was great, and I
Yeah,
kind of lumped that in with the Spider-Man: Homecoming figure I got.
both of them, or
Because
just the Mayfix.
the Mayfix specifically,
Yeah.
because I didn't really like the SH one. Just as far like SH, such a great brand as
Yep.
far as figures go,
Mm-hmm.
and in my head, if you say SH Figure Arts, this amazing brand of action figure makers, is going to do Spider-Man: Homecoming, my brain goes, that'll be the best Spider-Man figure of all
Right.
time.
No, no. I would agree with you normally.
Right, and I just when I got that one, I was disappointed. There was things that it just couldn't do that I feel like other SH Figure Arts that aren't Spider-Man can do
Does
better.
that's what I don't understand. I
Yeah,
don't get
so
it.
the Mafex version to me is basically if you would have told me that this Mafex version was the SH one, I would have been like, sure, because it's fucking perfect.
Yep. 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 No, no.
So that one made it on my list
Mm-hmm.
to go along with the movie. Spider Man last year, great year for Spider Man stuff.
Solid. I had two films which I was torn between in terms of my favorite films released
Put
last
them
year.
both on here, man. Put them both.
Uh, uh Guardians of the Galaxy 2
Guardians of
and
the Galaxy.
and
That almost
Thor
made my honorable mentions.
and Thor Ragnarok.
Thor Ragnarok did make it on my list.
Those two films, both space films, both
Yeah,
made me feel incredibly happy after watching.
they were both great. I agree. Guardians did make it on my list. I felt like if I was gonna have another Marvel movie specifically, I had to choose
Spidey.
one. So I chose Thor over Guardians,
Mm-hmm.
just because with Thor I didn't have really any
Yeah, you didn't even
complaints.
care at all,
Yeah,
but this film
and
turned you.
yeah, but with Guardians,
You really gave a
I
shit.
liked it. I liked it a lot until kind of the end. There's some decisions towards the end of the movie that didn't make sense to me, so I couldn't put it on my list.
I can agree.
But Thor, though, I had a great time at that. Like pretty much the entire time, I was glowing through that movie. It was hilarious. It was basically like a He-Man live
I
action
was gonna say
movie.
it also showed us that you can make a He-Man movie, and it
Yeah,
can be
because
awesome.
if he would have climbed on that wolf and rode it around, it would basically be like a battle cat
Yep,
situation.
I would watch a He-Man film if it was handled like that.
Right. I'm down for it. I
Yep.
think they can do it.
So yeah, those two are
Uh,
my lists on my lists. Go.
Definitely deserved for both of those. Good choices. I'll skip my Thor one since we already talked about it.
Yeah.
Go straight to the next one. Is I saw Gorillas live last year,
Oh, Jelly.
and that was pretty tight. Vince
Uh,
Staples opened for them. That was cool. They had like a drum appearance in the show, and it had a few like guest appearance things, and it was like super legit. It's the first time I'd ever seen them. I didn't know what to expect, because it seems like every kind of Gorillas tour is different.
mm-hmm. Right. And like,
This was
and you never really know what to expect if considering they're like a digital band.
right, exactly. And this year they had big displays behind them, and the characters would kind of interact with the show and do different stuff, which was
Mm-hmm.
neat. But pretty much the whole time they had everybody out on stage performing. We could see it. They weren't like behind a scrim or anything like that.
That's great. That's great.
So that was cool. I would definitely put that on my list as something I wouldn't have ever considered doing, and yet ended up doing it, and it
Enjoyed
was really
super.
neat. Yeah.
Wicked. Next on my list is Book of Mormon.
they're coming here, dude, and I want to see them real bad.
Watch it because I watched it and I was like, this is just too entertaining.
I want to see it real bad.
I don't even need to speak much about it because it's just you say Book of Mormon, it's like people would know what that is. Hopefully,
A lot of people will. Some
yeah.
people won't.
It is a
They'll think that's
musical.
a weird
It
thing.
is a musical done by the creators of South Park,
Right, and
and it's
they
hilarious,
basically
and the music is
created Josh
brilliant.
Gad as a star.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
if you like Josh Gad, you have that play to thank.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, it's great stuff. Great stuff. Loved it. Loved it. Loved it. Loved it. But yeah, that was on my list.
Uh, nice, good choice. I
Yeah.
definitely am jelly and want to see that.
Well, when they go there, definitely go. I would highly recommend
Uh,
it.
next two things on my list, I'll drop at once because they're both music related.
Cool.
Is last year I got very into Drum,
You did.
Big Baby Drum.
You did.
Uh, I think that guy is really talented and great. I think that you should look him up on your Spotify, maybe on YouTube. He's got some music videos that are great. I recommend Cute. I recommend uh, Cash Machine.
Cash
I
Machine, very
recommend
popular, very good.
I recommend Cha Cha, and I recommend Broccoli, even though it's got Lil Yachty on it, and I
And
hate
he's
Lil Yachty,
garbage. He's the
but I still
negative. He's the
recommend the
negative
song.
of
It's still catchy, even with Yachty on it,
the.
and he's great, and definitely check him out. Also, Smino, I got really big on last year. I also recommend him. I think he's great. If you like kind of like Outcast sort of music, if you like a lot of wordplay, he's he's definitely a wordplay kind of MC. Sings a little bit too. Uh, really dope. Worth checking out to me. He has a line where he says, "I don't even want to misquote him, but he says something to the effect of, "You can't see me," John Cena reference,
That's too good.
and in a love
If
song.
if
That's
you can
fantastic.
reference John Cena or anything wrestling in a love song, that's a gold
Right.
star.
That'll get you a high five from me.
Yeah, that's a gold star.
Uh, yeah, so definitely check that out.
Wicked. I've got Clarence cartoon.
Clarence,
It
was
didn't
that
start
only from
last year.
last
It
year?
didn't start last year, but it continued last year, and I think the episodes that came out last year have been fantastic.
Well, definitely check Clarence
The
out. It's a good
music,
cartoon.
the music on Clarence is probably some of my favorites in cartoons.
I don't even remember the music.
Oh, I go to the guy who made it. He's got a SoundCloud page,
Uh huh.
and he's posted all the songs. They're all original songs that he writes, and they're like all influenced by particular genres of music. Like you know what it's supposed to be, but it's kind
Gotcha.
of its own thing, and it's brilliant. Um,
Okay.
but the episodes are phenomenal. Clarence is a cartoon about these little kids, and they just feel they feel like real kids. Like you know these kids.
Right, which is cool.
Yeah, I love it. So that's my cartoon on my cartoon list.
Let's see. Let's rattle off a couple more of these real quick. 'Cause I got too many on my side.
Mm-hmm. I just got one more on my side,
Let's,
by the way.
well, yeah, I'll definitely
Yeah,
rattle off a couple of these. I'll just quick fire a couple of these.
sure.
The four Chappelle specials,
Brill.
watch them, they're great.
Yep.
The last two came out literally on New Year's
Okay,
Eve.
yeah, that counts. Dang, that's smart.
So definitely
Yes,
worth checking out. Some of the stuff that he talks about is incredibly relevant.
absolutely.
Uh, and he's hilarious. He's great at his job. He's definitely my favorite comedian
Yeah, dude,
of all
he's on
time.
fire.
Yeah, he's
He
really
has
great.
not lost it.
No, not at all. Uh, Next, real quick, the Infinity War trailer came out. It was
Dude.
only a trailer, so I don't want to. We
Yeah,
don't have to talk about it long, but it's
Brill.
the culmination of like a decade of movies
Yep.
all in one Marvel universe, and that is bananas.
It's just brilliant. It's
So
ridiculous. It doesn't make sense that it's happening, but it's gonna happen, and it's happening
and
this year.
and this one there it's Thanos coming to Earth for part one or round one of a huge fight,
Yeah.
and it looks like the fight is not going to go well for our side, and
Nope.
that's exactly
That's great.
uh,
That's good news for
yeah,
us
can't
viewers.
wait. Yeah, can't wait to see how that plays out. It's got Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, the Guardians, everybody is in it.
It's gonna be
So
nuts. It's gonna
yeah.
be bonkers.
Another real quick one. Don't need to go into a lot of detail, but WWE 2K18 came out last year. It's not going to be on a lot of people's like highest rated games of the year for sure. A lot of people thought the game was mediocre at best, but is what for what I need out of a game, a wrestling game specifically. The wrestling was on point, and the character creation is so in depth and ridiculously bananasly in
The
depth.
character creation is scary.
And you can upload your own art assets to it, which is definitely
Your favorite?
makes it even larger the amount of kind of stuff you can come up with. It's just an insane experience, and some of you might have seen if you follow us on like Instagram or whatever that I made Jeff and I in the game,
They're
and
just
it
crazy
looks like
good.
they sent us out there to get scanned to
I
get
know,
put in.
it's scary. It's scary, dude.
Yeah, it's real bizarre. I gotta like make a casual version of us with just like our regular
Dude,
clothes,
that
just
would be
because
the best.
it's so bananas.
I kind of like one you did of Charles.
Yeah, the Charles one. That's so funny. But yeah,
Uh,
that game definitely on the list as well. Another
it deserves.
trailer, real quick,
Yeah.
is the Battle Angel Alita trailer.
Yeah, dude, that thing's getting way too much hate. I still dig it. I'm really
Yeah,
keen
people
on it.
was hating on it and the anime eyes and stuff. It really
No.
didn't bother
I
me.
think I'm
I
kind of
can't
I'm
wait to
I'm
see
glad
this
that it's not bothering us though, because that if it did, it probably would have been the only aspect of that trailer to really pull us out.
for sure, for sure. And luckily it didn't because I
No,
can't wait for that shit.
yeah, I'm watching that thing.
All right, what else you got on your list? I think I only got two more
I
after.
got One Punch Man. One Punch Man anime came out last year.
Did it?
I think so. I checked the date. Unless I'm wrong. If that came out 2016, then I fail.
Well, if it came out last year, I agree, man.
Well,
One
if
Punch
all
Man
right,
is
put it this way: if
fantastic.
it didn't come out last year, then I put Mob Psycho 100.
Okay. Are they that interchangeable?
To me, it is.
Well,
It's both
I
by the
gotta
same
watch Mob
creator,
Psycho
and
then.
it's dope, dude. You really need to watch that shit.
I'll
You
have to
do.
look it
You
up
really do. Oh, I think you know what? I think
because
One
One
Punch
Punch
Man
Man
was
looks great.
2016. My bad. Then it's well,
Mob Psycho it
Mob
is.
Psycho it is. But I think I wrote One Punch Man not for the anime, but for the manga. Because last
Uh,
year, that was so damn good.
that was the most recent chapter or whatever.
Oh, yeah, that freaking crazy.
How many came out last year?
He probably released maybe because he doesn't do it weekly,
Right.
but he doesn't do it monthly either. Sometimes he'll do it bi-weekly. Sometimes it's like fortnight. I don't know. So it's so sporadic. But then one of
Right.
the chapters that he released was like 130 pages.
Oh yeah, I remember you talking about that one in
That's
particular.
dumb. That's dumb. He did it in
No, that's
like
rad.
2 weeks, a week or something like that.
I still
More.
gotta check that
He's
out.
bonkers. Anyway, Murata, Yusuke Murata, best. He's on the list. He's always on the list. The best.
He is
Always.
always on the
He's
list,
always
man.
on the list of best. It's that simple.
WWMD, man.
Mm-hmm. Always. Always.
Always,
I'll never
forever.
I'll never reach it, but I'm gonna try.
Always have to consider it.
Yeah,
Maybe never
absolutely.
reach it, but always have to
Absolutely. I
consider
always think, how do I tackle this page? What would Murata do? Ah, okay, let's see. Let's push myself then.
it. Right, yeah.
That's the rules. That's the rules. I think it's pretty good.
All right, and last couple things
Yeah, let's
on
close it
my
off.
list. One I can rattle off real quick is uh, PSVR came out, or I got it at least
You love it, don't
finally
you?
over the holiday season,
You love it.
and it's just super neat. It's just a super neat experience. It's a little taste of the future of technology in that space, I
Scary, dude.
guess.
Scary.
When you see stuff like Ready Player One and stuff like that coming out, you can't help but when you're playing these PSVR games go, yeah, I can totally imagine eventually being able to get totally sucked into that
Mm-hmm.
kind of immersive world. And that's bananas, man. I can't wait. I can't wait. Sign me up. By the time I'm 60, we'll be in like weird Matrix pods and it'll be great. Or it'll be like actual VR chat now, which is nightmare fuel. If you ever want to if you ever want to be terrified, look up what VR chat is now. It's just like the internet brought to life. So like thousands of Sonic characters cursing at each other and
I don't want that. I'm not gonna even look that up.
I got a
So
buddy that
Sanic,
sends me videos all the time.
Sanic,
Basically, whatever the dumb version of Knuckles is, there's a whole bunch of them.
all those your name plus a hedgehog.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
don't need to look that up.
PSVR is legit.
Sick.
Definitely next time we hang out, you got to try that
Oh
stuff.
well, I'll give it a shot.
It will be fantastic. And last thing on on my list was WrestleMania last year, dude. Uh, I had my first WrestleMania moment
I wait.
where
What happened
I
there?
le- I legitimately fangirled out and I like fell on the ground on my knees and was like, "Oh my god!" Like I was losing it, dude.
Cause
The
why?
return, the return
Oh,
of the
yep.
Hardy
Right, I remember now. Yep.
at WrestleMania for a ladder match.
Mm-hmm.
It was like it was perfectly set up. They were making it look like the New Day was going to come out because they were hosting this year,
Yep.
this last year's WrestleMania. They were just hosting it, and then they were like, we got one extra team that wants to come out, and they were like starting to take off their like entrance attire stuff, like they were going to come out, and then all of a sudden the Hardy Boys music hit, and however many people were in that crowd, but it was a lot of people. I'm getting goosies just thinking about it. There
They
was a
all
lot of
pop.
people watching it, and everybody popped hard. They were it was nuts the crowd reaction to the Hardys showing up, and I only had one buddy that was there watching it with me, and he was just looking at me like I was insane because I was losing my mind that the Hardys were there, dude. It was such a geek out moment.
Good times though. But like that's the
Oh
good
man,
times.
yeah, it was great times, and it's just a thing that I don't get to have very much because all the wrestling stuff is still kind of new again for me.
Mm-hmm.
So like, not last year, but the year before in the holiday season, I went to my first live event, so it's still kind of buzzing off that, and then WrestleMania right after because I think literally the show we went to was like 2 weeks before Mania.
That's nuts, man.
So I was still buzzing
Oh
off of
yeah,
going to see it, and
it
then
was
the
still
Hardys
fresh.
show up. Oh man, I was losing my mind.
Yeah, that's still fresh in your head.
So I think that was definitely my one of my biggest highlights from last year was getting to feel like a little kid again in that moment.
That's what that's what it should do though.
It was chipper AF,
Mm-hmm.
chaps.
I mean, you could technically say it.
Um, so yeah, we crushed a big old long list of like 20 things that were awesome about
Mm-hmm.
last year.
And we
Hopefully, you guys also had some awesome things. Maybe rattle off your top five things
yeah.
from last year, and maybe we'll talk about that. But I think what we should talk about is now that we've gotten this list of last year's good stuff out of the way, maybe let's talk about what we're looking the most forward to
Oh, we could do
in the
that next
coming year.
episode.
Yeah.
Let's talk
So,
about our anticipated things of 2018.
and I think that we will, man. I think we
I,
will.
I reckon that's a good one.
So until the next one, guys, stay chipper, chaps.
Stay chipper.